Hey, welcome everybody. It's Randall. A little bit different Sylvania show tonight. Of course, we got Mr. R over there, Coach Nelson in with us. Miss Corbin going to be joining us later, but we're here to talk about Game Day 2024. And Coach Nelson, the first thing I'm going to ask you about your Game Day, what that video board in the corner, that's one of the great intimidators, I think, in high school football. If you sit there at a game and just watch it, it really is impressive. That impressive presentation, plus the mountain in the background, and the sun goes down that way. It's one of the true great settings in high school football.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it gets everybody pumped up. It gets the players pumped up. Bring great atmosphere and great crowd. We need a great crowd to have success this fall, and we have several hard games, and they're going to pack it in here, and we're excited to get going. Excited to see everybody come out on August 23rd. We host North Jackson.
Where do you sit in getting practice started? Are you in your first week, or do you have till next week?
We started on Monday. We went Monday. We practiced this morning, and we're gonna come back in here in a little bit, and we're gonna start at 12 o'clock tonight. We're gonna put some pads on, so we're about to get going, and we're about to have some meetings here in a little bit. So we're full speed ahead.
Man, did you just say you're going to put pads on, Coach? I am pumped now.
Here about 5 hours, we're gonna put pads on. So it's close.
Do you happen to need a 57-year-old, 300-pound guy for any reason?
Oh, come on, we'll put some pads on you.
All right, Howie Chaney, you want to introduce and tell us a little bit about Mr. R, since your daughter is, of course, very closely associated with Mr. R's program.
Yeah, we have Mr. Patrick Roselle, aka known as Mr. R. Mr. R, thanks for joining the show, and let's talk a little bit about the summer as far as the band has taken place. Tell us a little bit of what's going on so far.
Well, we had our 2 weeks of band camp. We started July 15th, and we go 8 to 2 for 2 weeks, and we got a good chunk of our show learned. We're doing the Beatles this year, and we got the first 2 tunes kind of going, and got the fight song passed out, and a couple of stand tunes, and just we get started going early, just kind of knock the cobwebs off, and because these last few years they've been pretty long seasons for us. And band is different than football. My kids, we go all year long. We start in July and we end in May. And we've got events, we've got parades, and then we got concerts in the spring. So I try to, my big thing is I try not to get burnout with the kids because last year they got pretty burnt out about game 14. They were pretty tired, and they came in and they were like, "Can we please not do a Christmas concert?" And so I was like, "Okay, you got 2 Christmas parades going." I said, we can forego the Christmas concert this year because I always make the difference between football and band is football has a new challenge every week. They're playing a new team. They're watching film. They're watching a different player, different, whoever it is. For us, we do pretty much the same thing every week over and over. So like I said, I just try to keep these kids from not burning out. And because about week 4 for us, it starts to kind of get a little boring. We're going to play the Hey song again. Okay. And this is not just me. This is just band everywhere. Fight song again. Okay. So that's just kind of how we get going, and we'll hit the ground running when school starts back next week with after school practices. And, but anyway, that's what we started off with this summer.
So how do you decide on what your halftime show is going to be?
It has to be something I can listen to for 10 to 12, 13, 14 weeks. I mean,
Funny.
honestly.
Coach Nelson decides what his offense is. So whatever he can look at for 13 or 14 weeks, he goes with.
I mean, it has to be something that I can stomach for, like I said, and the kids have to like it. Because if the kids don't like it, they're not going to like playing it.
Hopefully it's 15 weeks this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Char, he's going to throw in that couple extra weeks at you this year. Hopefully
so.
And it's just something I can listen to and I can deal with, and the kids like it. With the Beatles this year, the kids have already started quoting lyrics to each other.
Cool.
And so they're jumping into the Beatles and they're enjoying it. So,
Coach Nelson, you was at Collinsville, and they didn't have a band for a while. I don't think was that during your time while you played there?
I think so. I think it was about my maybe senior year. They kind of went away from it, but it came back 2 or 3 years ago. So, they're starting to get back going. So, they've been working hard down there, and hopefully they'll get kind of numbers they need. It takes a lot. You can't do just 2 or 3, but I think they had about 12 last year. So I think they're starting to get going in the right direction.
Well, my main question was, how big of a difference was it playing games that neither school had a band compared to at least one, if not both schools having a band?
Well, the band, it plays a vital part on Friday night, gets everybody in the right mindset, and it brings the communities together, and it makes just a big difference, from having a band and not having one. So, anytime, we're always supporting the band because it's, we need them behind us. You got a 4th and 1 late in the game. We need them loud and getting everybody behind us in the community and fans and everybody pumped up. So, we really thank them for what they do.
Yeah, I went over there one day after I picked Jenny up from band camp, and I told you I swung by there from picking her up, and first words out of Coach Nelson's mouth was, "How's the camp going this week?" You don't hear too many coaches that really cares about anything else that's going on. So, yeah, and we're joined by Miss Corbin. Miss Corbin, thanks for joining us. You're on mute, by the way. There
Hello.
you go. So,
Sorry, I was late.
No, it's fine. So, we was talking to Mr. R as far as his summer stuff with the band. Let's hear about the cheerleader summer stuff as well.
Well, we worked out the whole month of June. We always do workouts along with practice and gymnastics 3 days a week. So then July, we continued with practices and gymnastics and just getting ready for the season, working on signs, stunting, all that good stuff, ready for sideline.
So with I kind of asked Mr. R. I've asked him, how does he choose a halftime? How do you choose what signs that y'all make and run through and everything?
Well, we usually try to get a theme, and then we have the main ones we always do: Sylvania, Ram Nation. We love our boys of fall. We've done a lot less of those since they have the big blow up. So for home games, we don't have the signs anymore. We just do away games. So we just kind of do some basic signs, and then if we have a special theme, we'll do a theme sign for any themes that we're doing.
And a big thing that happens, I think it's only for home games, but the pep rallies that takes place.
Right.
All three of y'all are kind of involved with the pep rallies.
Yes, we've been preparing for those the last couple of days too. I've got 21 girls on the squad this year, and so 13 of them, it's a lot. I have a huge squad. 13 of them are new girls, so we have a lot of young ones. So we've been going through step by step how pep rally works, what we do, and just been really encouraging them to get ready to pep up the team and all the different things that go into that.
Right. So, Mr. R, do you and Mr. R work together as far as maybe, hey, you have a dance routine you want to do, Mr. R, will you perform the song, or vice versa, or something like that?
Right. Yes, we do. We always send the lineups, and he plays a lot of the songs for us. And then sometimes the dance team will come and do a special dance at the pep rallies.
Randy's behind the scenes, moving camera, pictures everywhere. So, kind of overlooked that there for a minute. So, but it's pep rallies are a big thing. When I was in school, it was great to actually get out of the last class of the day to be able to go to the pep rally. But it kind of energizes the team as well, does it, Coach?
Yes, it does. It's all this plays a big factor in us winning on Friday night. Everybody, it takes a whole group effort. So, sometimes you see just a win, but you don't see what all goes into it. And I think we have a great group, and everybody's working together for a common purpose, and hopefully that's we put together a lot of wins.
Like I said earlier, hopefully 15 wins this year and end up in Birmingham.
Sounds good.
That'd be huge. Being able to go to a progressive field in Birmingham. So, Coach R, we'll actually start with cheerleaders. Cheerleaders kind of start the game off by doing which you don't do the victory sign no more, but you get the victory line going on.
We do.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of your. You got 21 of them. You got captains and all that. So let's give a shout out to the captains and stuff.
Okay. My captain is Jessie Sargent. She's actually my only senior. And then I have two co-captains, Alina Corbin and Ella Bell, and it's their 4th year on varsity. They're the only 3 that's been on varsity for 4 years.
Okay, that's cool. Mr. R, I know you got captains and drum majors and all that. Let's hear who you got.
Yeah, Elena King is our drum major this year, and Jenny Chaney is our band captain. She's also our band medic. She carries our medical bag and our she carries the medical bag, and she carries all the forms on Friday nights for us. Aiden Garcia is our percussion section leader, and then Jamison Williams and Kayla Payne are our color guard captains this year.
Okay. Coach Nelson, I know you have captains every Friday night. Do you have a set group that you're going to send out there, or is it going to be based on performance?
I think it's based on just a couple different things that, but we have a great group of seniors. We have 13 seniors, so it's a very good group, and they've worked very hard. So, I don't think we could really make a wrong decision whoever we send out there.
Okay, so we'll go back to Miss Corbin real quick. And how did you choose your captains?
Well, it's based on years of experience. It goes on score. The ability to teach is huge. Character's number one. Having good character for sure. So experience, being able to teach, character, those are the biggest things for me.
Good deal. Mr. R, how about you?
My big thing is leadership. I have to have the kids that can come in and take over, because a Friday night for me, the band also has a concession stand. And so there are times that I have to run over to the concession stand because something's going on. We ran out of food. Hey, we need new food, more food. Let's go get it. So, if I walk away for 15, 20 minutes, I got to make sure that somebody's up there looking for a first down to play and watch the game. And I always tell the drum major, you have to learn the plays. You have to learn what is going on the field, because I'm not always going to be there. But that leadership is my big thing. And I've got, I gave an example this past week. Something came up during band camp. Somebody handed me money and I had to go receipt it. Well, I hear the band start playing. And I look out there, and Elena and Jenny, they're up there in front of the band. They've just got them going. They're having them play, running through the music, and I come, I get my money done, and I come back out, and we jump back into it. But it's just good leadership.
Good deal. And Coach Nelson already gave his examples of how he's going to pick his captains, and so it's going to, you got a lot to choose from, Coach Nelson. So it's going to be probably somebody different every week, would you say?
Well, I with 13, I think every one of them is worthy of being a captain. So, we'll be a couple different variations of them somehow. So, we look forward to them, and we look forward to really getting the season going.
So, Miss Corbin, we'll jump back with you. You have Randy. You have questions before I keep going?
Yeah, I got lots of them. Let me jump in for just a
All
second.
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I want to talk about pregame, and let's start there. And first, I want to talk. Let's ask Coach, because all of us get there, and we get excited, and watching the pregame's exciting. What's your object in your pregame routine, Coach?
Well, we're just trying to get warmed up a little bit. We're not trying to do too much. We're not trying to get tired. We're just trying to get loosened up, warmed up, run around, really get blood flowing good, and just get everything kind of, just moving around. And we need to be able to, when we come back in, we'll go out. We won't have pads on, so we come back in, we'll put our pads on. So, it's kind of so it ain't too hot, so we're not getting too worn out really before the game starts.
Is there part of that element for the players just to see what the stadium looks like and get comfortable? Sometimes you walk out and you're playing on the road and there's 2,000 people there. And after you see it, there's a little initial shock, but then you kind of relax.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sometimes that even carries into, first couple series of the game, trying to get just kind of trying to get going. So hopefully, that don't really carry on too far into the game, but sometimes it does, and sometimes we have to be prepared, and that's why we, as a coaching staff, we really work hard to have plan A, plan B, plan C, because sometimes it takes it. So that's why we stay prepared and really work hard, and hopefully we give these guys the best chance to win.
Excellent. Mr. R, same question. You got your band. It's pregame. You've got to get what are you trying to I guess, are the kids nervous ever going on the road and seeing a huge crowd?
If we go outside of our region, sometimes if we go out of DeKalb County, they get a little freaked out when we get to these stadiums. We went to, where did we go? Piedmont a couple years ago. When we played at Piedmont, that whole thing's an intimidation course from walking off the bus till you get to your stadium. And, I remember the band kids just looking at me going, wow, this is a high school football stadium. I'm like, yeah, this is, of course that was when they were, dominating that, 3A back a couple years ago. But it kind of gets that way sometimes. And the thing for us is every football field is different.
Mm-hmm.
They get used to stuff at home with lines and spots, and you go off to some other places. Some coaches lined it a little differently. Because I'm trying to remember, again, it was Piedmont. They didn't put tick marks out on the field. They didn't have all the intervals out there. So, we have them on ours. So the kids got out there. We don't know where to go. Because they're so used to looking at our field at home going, okay, I know where I'm supposed to go. So, yeah, it's different for us too.
Yeah, I can imagine. And the band is, and cheerleaders especially, Miss Corbin, in pregame, it's almost their time to shine, because you're not playing football, and all the attention is just the hype of the game. Do the girls ever just let it get to them?
They do sometimes. They usually have it out by the time the pregame show's over. We usually do stretching, warming up tumbling, warming up stunts. And if we're at home, we try to do a routine for the crowd. As soon as the boys leave the field, we'll go out and we'll do a routine because, of course, then the band's out at halftime. So at home, we get that opportunity to kind of show off some of our stuff. And they do get nervous, but especially the newer girls. But after the first game or two, they're ready to go and they love it. They love football season.
That's awesome. And this is kind of for all three of you. I'll start with Coach Nelson. Do you ever have to deal with a hostile environment where they're just getting on you? They're up in the crowd. There's some opposing fans. Is that just part of football?
I think it's just part of football. I mean, I think I think our fans, their fans, I think everybody just wants to win. So you have that sometimes, whether college, pro. I mean, you have fans who are just excited and they want their team to win. So they're going to, they sometimes they think what they say helps. So you have that.
I'll let you know I'm one of the worst hecklers in Knoxville that ever existed. 102 people, 1,000 people, they still know where I'm at. Miss Corbin, the girls are so exposed. I know they hear it sometimes.
Yes, they do. They hear a lot. And we were talking about it today. I was like, there's times that you can do chants with the crowd, and our crowd's usually really great. They don't do anything, that's offensive or anything. But I'm like, if it's ever offensive, you just don't join in. You can't join in with those conversations. I said, you can't do that and all those things. That's great. But, we got to maintain some dignity and some character there and make sure we're saying and doing the right things. So that's the biggest thing. But our student section's great. They're great about not doing any of those things. We've faced other situations where we're cheering against other girls and they're making these faces and doing these things the coaches aren't seeing. And I'm like, you just gotta brush it off and you gotta move on and just stay true to who you are. That's the biggest thing.
Just ask the girls never to repeat what Randall says. That's probably a good place to start. So, Mr. R, I hate nothing more than going to see a halftime show and it's music that I don't like. I love the Beatles. I loved your selections last year. Do you try to make it more fan friendly?
Oh yeah. My high school band director, that when I decided to be a band director in 10th grade, he told me, he was like, always do a show that the audience is going to like.
Yeah.
And he used to joke with us because we would get off the field on a Friday night and he'd say, you guys just got me a raise Monday morning. Thank you. But yeah, and part of it too is again, when we play, outside of our area and our region, some of these games that I've seen some of these bands come in with kind of these really artistic kind of shows that some of them try to do.
Yeah, I'm not that artistic.
And I just turned around and I looked at our crowd and it was like, So yeah, I always just try to pick something that everybody kind of likes,
Coach Nelson, and Howie, I'll come to you after this. I feel like sometimes when I go to a football game, all these people working, and they're there for the kids and they're there to support. Sometimes get overlooked, but you've already addressed it and already talked about it. But just for me, how important is it to get that crowd into it on Friday nights? How much of a difference can that make to the football team?
I think it makes a big difference. I mean, like I said, at some point this year we're gonna play bad. Hopefully that's not very long, but at some point, maybe a series or two. If we have everybody behind us still, that keeps the players engaged, keeps them fired up. So hopefully we'll snap out of it pretty quickly. But it keeps everybody involved. That's what it takes to have a winning season. Because if somebody's not getting along, now that causes other problems. So it's everybody involved and really working hard and putting it all together for that final product on Friday night.
And let me say this for myself before you go, Howie, Ms. Corbin, Mr. R. I've been around I've been calling sports for 35 years, and part of the pageantry, and I go to Knoxville every weekend, and part of what takes me there is those goosebumps I get every time I hear that band play or the cheerleaders. So I just want you to, from myself, thank you for the roles that you play and how critical it is to the environment. And there's a lot of people that never walk by and say thank you that in their head would like to say thank you. So I get this opportunity to say thank you. I do appreciate the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say that Randall's goosebumps are the bad ones because it's usually Rocky Top that he's listening to.
Oh no.
The kids are to never repeat anything I say during a football game. That's all I'm going to say.
So yeah, he's a big Tennessee person. So, Coach Nelson, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick, and it'll kind of help Miss Corbin out and help Mr. R out. How many touchdowns you going to score this year? Because Miss Corbin, after every touchdown, they throw out footballs or shirts and stuff like that. So she needs to kind of prepare. And then Mr. R needs to know how many times he's going to play the fight song.
Hopefully it's a lot. Hopefully they have to go buy more footballs and shirts and all that. And hopefully the band members are pretty tired after the game. It's kind of, if that's the case, I think it's a pretty good night.
So Randy kind of touched on something while y'all know. This is for all three of you. Y'all are the main cogs as far as the football, cheerleading, and band goes, but you can't do it by yourself. You have to have presidents or members, band members or whatever to do it. So Miss Corbin, I'll start with you and let you tell who actually helps you out.
Well, first of all, my parents, of course, are always a big help. You got to have parents that are on board and willing to do those things. And then I have an assistant coach, Isabella Corbin. She's been coaching with me for a couple of years. She's always at practices and just always doing what I need, my leaders. And then, of course, our sponsors. We do the football program, and that's our biggest fundraiser. So anybody that's buying ads, that's paying for uniforms and all those things that we need. And so just having all those on team, on board, it makes it a whole lot easier for me as a coach.
And we'll get back to the programs here in a few minutes. Mr. R, how about you?
Well, I've got also too. I've got a great group of parents with my band boosters that, they're in the concession stand every Friday night flipping whatever needs to be flipped. And you took the band trailer. We had a leak in the band trailer, and Howie found somebody to fix it for us. And but I just rely, the band boosters do so much for me that I can't do. So that's kind of how we get a lot of things done, is that organization.
Okay, and let's. I want you to mention the girls that are helping you with the color guard as well. Two assistants.
Kristen, and Sheena. They've kind of they jumped up last year, and they've really helped that, because that's the thing. I'm a dude. I don't know anything about an outfit. I mean, a girl comes up to me and says, "We need booty shorts." What's a booty short? I have no idea what that is. I don't, and I don't really care. Just what it is. But they help me out with a lot of that, and they measure the girls, and they come up with the routines on Friday night, and they're teaching it to them, and but they have been a tremendous help over these last 2 years.
Coach Nelson, I know you got a ton of assistant coaches and all that. We'll get to that later on in the season, but you got a quarterback club and presidents and all that. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yes, they do a lot to help us. Josh Turner is our president, and Jared Butcham, our vice president. They do a great job, but we have a great, we have several moms who's cook for us. They do all this to help us, recovery and really just stay in everything we do, because it takes a lot out of us. So but yeah, we have a great group, and really on Friday night, I ain't experienced it yet, but we're already making plans, getting all this stuff together, who's doing what. So we're really starting to get it all put together and trying to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together. So it takes a big group, because it ain't one or two people. We have 8 assistant coaches, so it's everybody's got something to do. It's kind of like our quarterback club. Everybody's got something to do, and we really thank them for everything they do.
Randy's popped in, so I know he's got a question.
Coach.
And he pops out again. So,
during your career, have you ever been at Sylvania on game day? Played there as a player, coached there as a posting coach, or is this all new to you?
My first year at Collinsville, which was 3 years ago, we played up here. So, great atmosphere and great community support. So it makes it a tough place to come in here and try to win a football game.
All right, guys, we're not going to keep y'all very long. Got a couple more questions. This is basically to help y'all out. We're fixing to talk about fundraisers and Miss Debbie Sizemore, Ram Nation. There we go. If you haven't met Miss Debbie Sizemore yet, don't worry, you will. One of the biggest Sylvania Ram fans and supporters there is. Randy.
You're going to bring up Wing Fest, aren't you? Because
Yes.
a fat guy likes to talk about Wing Fest. That's all.
Well, I'm a fat guy too, so that's why I was fixing to bring up the Wing Fest. Wing Fest is coming up in a week from Saturday. So for the ones that's never been, Wing Fest consists of a lot of vendors, a lot of money making for the schools, not just for the cheerleaders, for the band, or for the football. It's also the softball team, baseball team, track and field. If it happens at Sylvania, they're going to have a booth set up there doing something to raise money. So you don't have to have a ticket to get in, but to get all these good wings, you do have to have a ticket. So we'll get with Coach Nelson here in a second, find out how we get those tickets. But Miss Corbin, what will the cheerleaders be doing at Wingfest?
We'll be selling T-shirts. That's what we sell. And then we'll have Fan Day right before Wingfest, where we'll have Pee Wee performances all the way up through varsity with the boys, the cheerleaders, and then the band. We introduce them as well, and they can play a song. So that'll be right before Wingfest. But at Wingfest, we'll be selling T-shirts.
Okay, Mr. R, I know the band is. I know it's kind of crazy me asking what the band's going to do because I know the answer to all this stuff. But to kind of make it official, go ahead, Mr. R. What will the band be doing that day?
The boosters are doing a bake sale. I've got a lot of moms. They're doing some baked goods, and we're going to sell that. And also, Phyllis Shipman did a beautiful. It's really pretty. It's a hand woven quilt, and we're going to raffle that off at Wingfest, and that's going to kind of help us with our Universal Studios trip this spring.
Yes, and the cake or the bake sale and stuff, the baked goods, you can buy individual or you can buy like a whole cake if you see a cake that you want as well. And the cakes will be in the concession stand at the in the band concession stand because we got a refrigerator and all that stuff. And not just the moms, but I got to throw out Mr. Justin Jackson. Mr. Justin Jackson, the president of the band boosters, is going to be making some desserts for himself and for me once I send him the money. So, Coach Nelson, of course, we know what the football team's going to be doing, but go ahead and give us. Will the coaches be cooking this year, Coach?
I don't believe so. I think we have some other stuff going on because I know we have several coaches who are doing other sports. So, that kind of hurts that a little bit, but they, baseball and softball and, Coach Jeff Jackson, he's doing softball now. So they'll have a booth there and we have coaches kind of spread out everywhere. But we have tickets, players are selling tickets. And I think we have it all over our Facebook and stuff. And or my contact, you can get my number or Josh Turner or somebody in the quarterback club and reach out and get a ticket that way. And I'm sure we'll have tickets kind of spread out here the night of. So I think it's very easy to come up with a ticket.
And Jessica, again, if you're watching, I know I've got 4 tickets coming from you, so I will get you the money as soon as possible. So hold me 4 tickets. So let's talk about fundraisers real quick. Ms. Corbin, what are y'all doing for any fundraisers right now?
Well, we just finished going to camp, and so we had some big fundraisers for that. We took up at Jack's. We always wait tables and take up money, kind of community service type thing. We're selling the ads in the football program. That's our biggest fundraiser where we make, our money for the year to paint for the signs and all those different things in uniforms. And then we also sell the footballs. We'll be doing that at Wingfest. The footballs on the field with the names of students, seniors, and I always put the coach, a couple of coaches out there. His name will be on there. I got to get that fixed and changed over. And then we'll be selling the T-shirts that we do at Fan Day. We'll be selling those at school as well.
So if somebody wants to buy an ad for the program, because this goes out not just local, it's worldwide. We're on the World Wide Web, so this is saw everywhere. If anybody wants to buy a program, how do they get in contact with you?
They can message me on our Facebook page, the Sylvania Varsity Cheer page. They can message me directly on Facebook, just Kim Corbin, or they can contact me by my email. I have an email I can give out. It's kscorbin78@gmail.com. That's my personal email. And I'll get on the paper. It's like it shows, all the details of the ads. If you want to buy a full page, half page, third page, it goes all the way down to just $25 for a sixth of a page of an ad. So they're really cheap. And so that's how they can contact me, any of those ways. Or if they know a cheerleader, you can buy it through a cheerleader.
All right,
I'll be
Mr.
selling
R.
senior ads too.
Okay, all right, good deal. Mr. R, what about the band?
Well, Wingfest is our first, and then we'll be doing the band boosters. Will be kicking off a Coke sale here shortly, probably right when school gets back. So we'll be selling Coca-Cola products for probably about 2 weeks. And then we'll be doing some various things through the fall, and then when we gear up for Universal in March, we'll be doing some more then. But the Coke is our first big one of the year.
Okay, and Coach Nelson, what about the football team?
Well, I feel like we've been fundraising since about February. I don't think it's really stopped yet. That's just how much money it takes to try to run a football program, everything you need. So, but we just got done with go-karts, and we had 20 for 20 earlier, and so we got this Wing Fest coming up, and we have a gun blitz coming up, quarterback club. So I think so it's just full speed ahead, really.
Coach, I heard somebody the other day say it's give an estimate of how expensive it is to outfit a player these days, and he gave the total of $650 to $800, and that's every player.
I'd say it's more than that. A helmet alone is $700, one helmet. So I mean, that's just a helmet, and then shoulder pads are a couple $100, and a jersey. I mean, that's another couple $100, and pants and girdle and knee pads and cleats. I mean, it's crazy if you really start thinking about it.
Yeah, and I was probably listening to something several years old when I heard that number. They gave $500 for a helmet, so now it's up to what, a $700?
Yeah, some of these newer helmets are, they're in the ballpark. It just kind of depends what type of kind of you're getting and all that. But player safety and all, we try to get the best of the best. So.
And Mr. R, a band uniform, what does it cost? It's several $100s, I know.
Yeah, the band uniforms we're in, I think they're about $550 a piece, and shoes are usually run about $50 a pop, and then the color guard is where it gets expensive, real expensive. The uniforms for color guard usually run $200 to $300 a girl. And then they've got to get shoes, and then the flags that you see on the field. I mean, a set of flags, and we only have 6 girls in the color guard. I mean, you're talking $250 for one set of flags.
Yeah,
and we'll have 3 sets this year, plus our spirit flags that we go in with. So it's expensive.
and Miss Corbin, it's more. I know cheerleading uniforms aren't cheap either, but
No.
you have to buy spirit packs for these girls too. And it's more than just a uniform. I know
Right.
Coach Nelson deals with spirit packs too.
So like if I have a new girl just to like dress her, camp wear, everything runs about $1,100. That's not counting your backpacks. That's not counting pom-poms, bows and things of that nature. So yeah, it's steep for sure.
Everything I own is $1,100. Go ahead.
Guys, I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. I thought about this a couple months ago, and I talked to Randy about it, and I'm like, hey, let's do. We always hear about Friday night previews, and it's basically just the football team. And I said, Randy, let's do something that previews a whole Friday night at Sylvania. What's going to happen on Friday night at Sylvania? And took a lot of convincing, but he finally agreed to it. No, he was like, yeah, let's do it. And
I've been distracted ever since Coach Nelson said he's putting pads on at midnight. I don't know who's more me or Coach Nelson, so I'm just with that.
Coach Nelson is doing something in football that a lot of basketball teams used to do, the
Midnight.
Midnight Madness.
I'm ready to drive to Sylvania right now.
Come on. We'll be here.
But I appreciate y'all joining us. And Coach Nelson's already answered this question on the first time, but you're new to the podcast. Y'all have watched some, I think. I know Miss Corbin has. Well, I know Jason has. And Mr. R, I think this may be the first time you watched, but I've always got the same question that I ask everybody. Do you have a pregame or Friday night ritual you have to do before a game? Miss Corbin?
Not really. No, I'm not. I don't really do a lot of rituals. So, no. Prayer, that's about it.
No, that's a good one right there. So, Mr. R, how about you?
Well, the big thing for us on Friday night is Star Spangled Banner, and we do a run of that in the band room before we come out. So that would be our ritual there. Just make sure we get through that, because my high school band director always told us there's two things that they're going to remember: the Star Spangled Banner and the fight song.
Absolutely. Guys, Jason Corbin chimes in. Come on, guys, give these leaders some double taps with a like or a love button. So there you go. For the ones that are joining us on Facebook, go to YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, RiverCity-Media.com. We're on there as well. Every episode that we've done for the last 4 years is on there. 3 years. You might like some of them, you might not. More likely you won't, but like them anyway. Show the love and give us a lot of support, guys. I appreciate you coming on and looking forward to what are we, 3 weeks from Friday night from kickoff?
Yep.
So time's getting short, and your list is still pretty long of things you got to get done, if I had to imagine. So Jason, appreciate you, man. Jason is the one that sends us a lot of pictures too during football season.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Next episode, I'm going to tell you about my pre-game good luck traditions on Wingfest night and what I go through. So,
so Randy, you got any more questions before we get going?
Thank you, everybody. It's a little different, but it was important. Coach, good luck tonight, and I know you're excited. And I mean, we got to give a shout out to Coach tonight when he goes in the pad. Head coach for the first time. It's got to be nothing but exciting and just a wonderful feeling, Coach. You've reached this point.
It is. We're excited. I know the entire staff and players and everybody. We've been working out and we've been doing some 7-on-7 and stuff. But tonight's really the first night of football, so we're excited to get it going here a little bit.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
if you want it to feel like a real football game, you want the band and the cheerleaders to show up at midnight too?
Yeah, come on, we'll be here. So we'll do it all.
Have the lights on and have a little.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm sure we'll be getting some calls tonight, live being on. But I think it'll be all right.
So anybody in Sylvania listening to this, if you drive by and see the lights on at the football field, they're on for a purpose. So, but guys, Miss Corbin, Mr. R, Coach Nelson, thanks for joining us. Randy's got something else to add.
No, I was just thanking them.
Oh, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. And Coach Nelson, your show will be kicking off on a weekly basis here pretty soon, and you'll get tired of seeing these two ugly faces week in and week out. And the guy right here, he's tired of seeing my ugly face already, and it's only been 2 weeks into the band camp. So get used to it. So y'all have any final shout outs? We always end the show with shout outs. Miss Corbin.
Not really. Just to my cheerleaders, remember we're going to Whitewaters in the morning. Be there on time.
There you go. Mr. R.
Thank y'all for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for putting up with Jenny Chaney's family.
Mr. Coach, here I am calling Mr. Coach Nelson. Any shout outs for you tonight?
I just want to thank the cheer and the band for everything y'all do to help us on Friday night, and administration and teachers and community. It takes everybody for us to win on Friday night. So we just want to thank everybody for what they do for us, and thank y'all for having me on here. And hopefully we'll start getting some players and some other coaches on here to talk, and for everybody to kind of get to know them. So thank y'all. And we're about to have a team meeting here in a few minutes. So we're about to get this thing kicked off.
Looking forward to it. So for Randy Cunningham, for Coach Nelson, Miss Corbin, Mr. R, I'm Howie Chaney. Thanks for joining us tonight for this Friday night Sylvania preview show. Good night and God bless everybody. Good luck to all three of y'all this year.
Thank you.